The story starts with a young boy named Kou Yamori who receives a love letter after opening it. He meets the girl. However, he rejects her proposal, not intending to hurt her feelings. He explains that it's not like he doesn't find her beautiful, it's just he doesn't understand the whole love thing, but the girl runs away crying. The next day, her friends start bullying him for rejecting her and start abusing him, telling him how useless he is. As this continues, his desire to participate in school simply disappears. He feels uncomfortable and decides to sneak out at night for the first time in a world where majority of people sleep at night. He was curious to explore how the city would look. The sky is lit up by the clusters of stars looking around. He sees empty roads and has a sudden feeling of freedom. On his way, he comes across a vending machine that sells adult juice with no one to see him. He gathers his courage and tries to buy it, but suddenly Nazuna, a girl covered in a black robe, appears next to him. Kou freaks out and explains that it was a mistake and that he will never do it again. He tries to escape, but Nazuna stops him and calms him down. She tells him that she is not a cop. She tells him to follow her if he feels tired and wants to relax. Kou finds it very suspicious, but still follows her. After some time, they arrive at her home on the elevator. She explains that her business is to help people who have trouble sleeping. After they get inside, she tells him to lie on the bed. Kou freaks out, thinking she is going to do something indecent with him. However, Nazuna assures that it's not what he is thinking. So, Kou finally decides to lie down. After some time, strangely, his body starts to feel very light and he ends up falling asleep. Nazuna checks by asking if he is actually asleep. After numerous attempts, when Kou didn't respond, Nazuna concludes that he is asleep for good. Now she is ready to show her true self as she approaches him. Kou is only pretending to stay asleep. Nazuna opens her mouth and drives her fangs onto Kou's neck. After it, she drinks his blood and is delighted at how delicious it is. However, she starts to panic as Kou gets up. She tries to explain that there was a mosquito on his neck and she squished it. However, it's not very convincing. So Nazuna gives up and reveals that she is a vampire. Hearing this, Kou starts to freak out in fear that he will turn into a vampire too. Nazuna assures him that he won't turn because the person has to fall in love with the vampire. If after every bite humans turned into her offspring, it would create a lot of problems for them. Kou finds it more convincing. As the rumors go for vampires, Kou finds Nazuna a wholesome vampire and doesn't feel the need to run away from her. To freshen up the mood, they go outside. There, Nazuna asks how he felt on his first night out. Kou thinks for a moment and realizes how calming it was. With no one to order him around, he felt like he could do anything he wanted. This feeling is something he wants forever, and he requests Nazuna to turn him into a vampire. Nazuna starts blushing and reminds him that he would need to fall in love with her first. Even though Kou doesn't understand love, he thinks that to live a life of night, he is going to fall in love with her. Nazuna tells him that she doesn't care what he does. However, in return, every day she needs his blood. Kou agrees, and after it, Nazuna holds him and flies to show him the beauty of staying awake at night. The next day, Kou again sneaks out to meet up with Nazuna, and as per the deal, he offers his blood. However, Nazuna gets embarrassed and tells him to cover up his neck. Even though she is a vampire, she drinks only when she feels like it. From there, they go to her home, and then she drinks it. The next day, Kou bought 2 wristwatch transceivers because it was getting difficult to find Nazuna. Nazuna is amused to see it. For her, it's like a very high-tech gadget. She asks if Kou has used it before. Kou tells her that around 9 years old, he bought 2 transceivers. He kept one with him and left the other above a mailbox and waited for someone to pick it up, but after a few days, it was gone. He tried to send a message but couldn't, so he decided to wait for the other person to make the first move. Nazuna feels so sad hearing the story, but she laughs at Kou. He tells her to stop making fun of him and gives her the transceiver. He tells Nazuna to go about 150 meters since it only has this range. After Nazuna leaves, he sends a message and gladly it's working. They reunite and then Nazuna takes Kou to his school. With no one around, this is the first time Kou feels this much relieved. Soon, Nazuna drinks her dinner. On his way back, Kou tries sending a message using his old transceiver. Unexpectedly, the message sends, and a girl named Akira appears. She is Kou's friend and studies at his school. All this time, she was the one carrying it. Kou is surprised and asks how she got it. Akira is confused because she saw Kou leaving the transceiver above her mailbox, thinking he wanted to play, so she waited for him to make the first move. Akira and Kou used to play together when they were little. However, as their classes progressed, they had to spend more time studying and eventually stopped talking. Akira, with a worried tone, asks if everything is okay. She had noticed for several days that he wasn't coming to school, so Kou explains and tells her what happened to him, and because of this, he started disliking school. Akira doesn't say anything else and asks if tomorrow they can meet again around this time. Kou agrees, but before leaving, he is surprised to see her in a school uniform at this time. Akira explains that she usually wakes up at 4 and prefers going to school this early. Even though it's very early, Kou isn't really in a position to say anything about it. The next day, as promised, they again meet up, but he is soon caught by Nazuna. Kou freaks out and doesn't know what to say. He feels like he cheated and feels guilty. However, Nazuna is not mad and starts teasing Kou for spending his time with another girl. Akira asks about their relationship. In reply, Nazuna explains that her and Kou's relationship is only physically related, nothing more. Kou panics and scolds her for the absurd way of putting it. Akira, like any normal human, misinterprets that they are dating. However, Nazuna gets embarrassed and tells her not to relate everything to love. She demonstrates what she meant earlier. Finally, Akira understands that Nazuna is a vampire. After Akira leaves for school, Kou and Nazuna have a walk. Kou notices that Nazuna seems angry, so he asks if she didn't like him spending his time with Akira. Nazuna tells him that she is not mad and just takes off. Kou now is very sure that she is angry and follows her. He searches for her in the places they had met previously. However, he couldn't find her. As Kou was climbing up the stairs, he falls and hurts himself. The sun is about to rise, and for the last time, he again sends the message. Fortunately, this time, the message is sent, and Nazuna picks up. Kou apologizes for seeing a friend in secret and explains he really wants to make up. Suddenly, Nazuna appears and assures him that she was not angry, just a bit irritated. She fears that because of Akira, Kou will stop spending time at night and will return to his school. Kou finally understands the situation and assures her that he isn't planning to return. Suddenly, she notices blood on Kou's lips and asks about it. Kou tells her that he fell and got hurt. Nazuna takes a closer look. As she sees the blood, she can't hold herself back and kisses him. Afterwards, she just leaves, leaving Kou in shock. But that's the end of today's video. If you want the continuation, leave it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel with the bell activated so you don't miss the next anime stories. Leave a like, it will help the channel a lot. I really appreciate it, guys. That's it. We'll see you on my next video. Bye.